A warning, brave adventurer. This episode of Echoes of Honor may contain adult language or adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody. Hello there, welcome back to the Lost Archives. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces. We are here, we are playing Echoes of Honor, the premier Cosmere RPG set in the incredible world of Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive. Super excited to be diving straight back in. We have a really exciting episode tonight, a really exciting session, given where we left off last week. We have one quick apology. Rory is unable to make it tonight, so I'll play the character of Hula. Harrison is on the way. He's just waiting for his little Kremling to allow him the gift of... Well, allow him the gift of sleep, or like to embrace the gift of sleep and allow Harrison to come and join us soon. So we'll see him probably in a couple of minutes or so once Ollie has settled down. In terms of fun news to share, the Mistborn campaign setting, it looks like we're going to get early access in September. So that means we will be starting our Shadows of Luthadel campaign on Wednesday nights in as soon as like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm really hyped. That does mean I'm going to have to really quickly wrap up our D&D campaign, which is on Wednesday night currently. Luckily, we're in a good position to be able to do that. So we'll have our Mistborn campaign starting on Wednesday nights. It'll be the same time as our Stormlight Archive campaign here. On Monday nights, it'll be about 7 to 7 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I stand by that. That's exactly what it is. Don't look at the clock. That's when it will be live on Twitch at twitch.tv/thelostarchivesrpg. And for those of you watching on YouTube or the podcast, it'll be coming out the same day, which is every Monday morning for you guys. Unless you're a YouTube member. If you're a YouTube member, you get 24 to 48 hours early access. So if you're a YouTube member, you get access to our Wednesday sessions on Friday, only 2 days after it's recorded, and 3 days before everyone else. I know. I'm just as excited as you are. That's pretty much all the fun news I have to share before we begin. Raph's got some cool piercings. We talked about them really quickly on Twitch. I don't think we should put them to show people the bruising that you've suffered from, because YouTube will auto-flag that as like gore and violence. But Raph has some impressive piercings if you want to see how bad those bruises are. The video is on Twitch for 30 days. Rush quickly if you wish to see them. I don't recommend it. It's awful. The piercing, what they've done to you is frankly atrocious, mate. It's so bad.
I mean, I kind of did it to me, let's be honest.
True. And it could have been worse. The stories you were telling us about the other things those people have pierced, it could have been a lot worse.
There's some crazy piercings out there. Let's just leave it at that.
And we're going to leave you to speculate as we do our recap. Let us dive back in. Our story follows a group of unlikely allies and friends, survivors of an attack on their caravan, now banded together under the banner of Bright Lord Bethab to seek those responsible. A cabal of light-eyed Aelthi nobles calling themselves the Sons of Honor. The team have managed to track down the leader of their caravan, Bright Lady Ralanat, having been captured by agents of the Sons of Honor operating out of Aladar's war camp. Using Alaran's new position as examiner for the High Prince Bethab, the team were able to enter the camp under protest from Aladar's commander, Mintez. Following the trail, the team soon located Ralanat being held in a converted warehouse, guarded by a mix of soldiers and mercenaries. After taking out these guards, the group switched to a more stealthy approach, attempting to convince the two agents interrogating Bright Lady Ralanat that they were sent to take her directly to Commander Mintez. Unfortunately, the agents had already summoned Mintez, the shard-bearer due to arrive at any moment. Unable to convince the agents to cooperate further, the team turned on them, unleashing a juvenile white spine from the nearby caverns in an attempt to distract the enemies long enough to escape with Ralanat, her manservant Zindan, and her parshman Red 3. After their best attempts to escape, the team were able to break their way out of a secret side entrance, depositing them in a canyon between both of the war camps, Aladar and Colin. Climbing up the ladder and very soon sabotaging it, preventing anyone following them, the team were left with a difficult choice: where to take Ralanat, back to Bethab's war camp with a lot of oversight, or somewhere a bit more private. Deciding that they would go with this second option, we left off last session as the team began to make their way back towards the outer market, hoping to interrogate Ralanat in their own little hideout there. Along the way, the team saw a group of Colin's soldiers, led by a very familiar figure, striding across the plains towards Sadius's war camp, looking very disturbed. That is where we left off last session. As you guys continue rising up the crest, you see Navani Colin and that younger Aelthi man, dark hair with blonde splotches kind of running through it, making their way towards Sadius's war camp. This small contingent of soldiers seemingly having come from not the Colin war camp, but from the Emperor's palace, the king's palace up on the hill. And as you watch from that rise, you can see a group of exhausted soldiers clad in blue making their way back across the plains, a single bridge crew helping them cross the chasms. If this is what's left of Dalinar Colin's forces, it is severely depleted. Something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. So, I hand back over to all of you. Climbing the steps, Rav-eth, you had used your illusion, Surge of Illusion, light weaving, to disguise Ralanat a little bit, to kind of change her facial features a touch. From where you currently are, you've climbed up a series of steps leading up towards the outer market. The war camps are below you. This contingent of soldiers coming back from the Shattered Plains, couple of miles away, but from your vantage point looking down, you can see them clearly approaching Colin's war camp, looking like they're getting ready to head straight down to Sadius's camp as well. There's a flash of something out of the corner of your eye from this vantage point in Sadius's war camp, as flames seem to leap across the ground in the very center of the open section of his war camp. Rav-eth, it's a glyph. The glyph for justice. Someone is burning the glyph for justice in the center of Sadius's war camp.
I sort of relay this back to the party. I don't know what this means. Burning a glyph this large in the middle of their camp? What has happened?
I don't know, but we've got our own business to attend to. We should focus in. This is potentially a bit of chaos that we can use to get ourselves to safety. There's other things going on. We should find ourselves to our hideout quickly.
As Alaran says this, a lot of eyes are turned towards Sadius's war camp. Around you, people are stopping, moving forwards, pointing as they see this flash of fire. Others pointing towards the tiny group of Colin soldiers. Alaran's right. This is drawing attention that could potentially be turned towards you, instead being drawn towards whatever's happening down on the plains in the war camps.
Is the plan still to take these ones to Gark's shop in the outer market? Or should we continue further?
It's the other location where we met.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah,
the storm shelter.
It feels as though a week has passed. It's only been mere moments.
It was a big ladder climb.
It was.
I think temporarily, at any rate, at least until nighttime. Although, and I say this relatively quietly to the group, it may prove that we will draw more attention to ourselves if we don't act like we're interested in what's happening over there. We should at least pretend to show some interest rather than ignoring it completely. I say as I'm kind of pointing at whatever's happening over there, acting like I'm interested in it.
And they're definitely like other people around. Like it's kind of.
I mean, this is one of the major pathways up to the outer market from the southern war camps. This is a pretty major thoroughfare. There are carts moving past, drawn by Charles. A lot of people are stopping to look, but there are people who are continuing on, people who kind of had a bit of a glance, can't really see what's happening and have just moved on. You won't be really out of place if you were to move on. Neivien is also right. Like, there might be people who notice your lack of interest in this. If you were just to try and like rush through, that would be quite suspicious, and people might associate that as suspicious behavior. But if you were to just follow in the wake of one of these carts, especially one of the ones that's laden with goods, you don't think you're going to be drawing too much attention to yourselves.
Yeah. I say we just keep moving at a normal pace, not really, slowing down too much to watch, but also not running, but it looks sort of like suspicious.
Without slowing anyone down, if it's possible, I'd like to pull out my span read, the other half of which I've left behind, and just see if it's flashing at the moment.
No flashing on the span read gem yet, Neivien.
Cool.
But given the time frame, I mean, you know Mintez is a man. He can't read or write. It's going to take him some time to find someone who he can trust from where he was to get them to write. So you might not... There might be a bit of a lag here.
I'm going to keep it within sight so that if it does flash, I'll be aware.
Tuck it in like the pocket of your bodice, maybe, so that you can keep an eye on the gemstone. Yeah, for sure.
How does obviously Ralanat is pretty well restrained at this point, but at the burning of the glyph at the House Sadie's camp, what is she like? What's her reaction to this?
Well,
does she look surprised?
Funny you mention that. As Neivien leans in to sort of speak quietly to the two of you, you watch as she leans over and whispers something to Zindan, who nods grimly. As she kind of looks back and catches your attention, you watch as she leans over your direction. Well, it seems like... I'm no expert, but I'd say that poor Dalinar Colin has been far too trusting in his friends. Toral Sadius is a formidable foe. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Hasn't really worked out well for Dalinar, has it?
They're allies. What are you talking about? Sadius is one of Dalinar's closest friends.
Oh boy. Of course. She nods, giving you a very self-satisfied smug.
Okay, cool. That's great, because Alaran can actually question that.
Self-satisfied smug. Not a self-satisfied smug. What the fuck is a self-satisfied smug? It's like a self-hug, a smug, a self-satisfied smirk. My brain functioned well. I know the word. I have words, the best words.
It occurs to me as we're trying to hurry without looking like we're hurrying. Are we just like in tattered clothes covered in blood and bruises and dirt and soot at this point?
Not super tattered. Some of you are in worse condition than others. Like Rav-eth's clothes are fine. Hula's pretty well dressed. Ztar, can get away with a lot. He's dressed in rags at the moment in his parchment disguise anyway. But yeah, Neivien and Alaran, as the two nobles dressed in the nicest, finest clothes, it looks like you've had a tough journey here. The thing that's kind of helping you out here, though, is this is one of the main thoroughfares arriving into the outer market, either from the Shattered Plains or from beyond. It is not inconceivable that you have been waylaid by bandits or some other misfortune has befallen you. That is to say, though, you don't look great. The damage that you have sustained and the damage to your clothing probably would stick in some people's minds.
Okay. I'm weighing up whether it's going to be more or less conspicuous for me to try and buy someone's cloak off them. I think we'll leave it as is.
While this is going on... No, go.
I was going to say, I kind of picking up what Neivien is putting down, and I just sort of shrug a little. It's rough on the plains. It's hard to be prim and proper in such a inhospitable place.
It is. I suppose that plays to our advantage. And I'm doing something that I've probably never done before in my life. And
he's reading his
squinting. Notes. No, I would have to write notes in order to read them.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I'm squinting quite heavily, obscuring my eye color to as much of an extent as I can.
Probably
smart.
I think off this kind of lead, Alaran's thinking about his glyph pair and the visibility of that in the context of how ratty he looks. And I think he is going to take off his outer jacket that has the glyph pair on it, and he's going to fold it over his front arm, so it kind of conceals like maybe another area that is like the big huge wound that he got from the white spine or the chull or
So
the
fair.
knives.
Not a bad idea at all. Ztar, while this is going on, I'm assuming I kind of had Ztar and Hula keeping a very close eye on Ralanat and Zindan, making sure they weren't getting up to too much rubbish. Given that you were kind of holding back a little bit and sticking near them, do you want to roll me a quick perception check to see if you overhear what she whispered to Zindan in that moment?
Well, I did. She was gagged as of last session.
In that case, then,
Oh,
you have to remove the gag
I
to
had
hear.
21 on gaggery.
That's true. You did. I don't know if I like that phrasing. As
It's
that's true. In that case, then she doesn't whisper to Zindan. She shoots Zindan a meaningful look before you then turn towards her Rav-eth, asking her that question as she looks down at the gag and rolls her eyes at you. I'm assuming you then take the gag out for her to then share that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will roll because that was what I was doing last session, which is basically just watching for, like, I noticed that she was tapping out signals to Zindan. If she's doing that again, if she's making any kind of move, it was the old knife to the spine routine.
Yeah.
Ouch.
She don't need legs.
What about her
Sure.
legs? She don't need those.
She don't.
That's true. She don't need those.
Memory is not stored in the legs. That's a fact.
You have heard that about humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to be the case.
Going back to the burning glyph, does it look like House Sadius lit the glyph in the first place, or was it House Colin?
Do you want to make me a perception check, Rav-eth?
Absolutely.
I just realized I missed easily the best character opportunity of all time, which was a Parshendi doctor that's essentially Zoidberg and has no idea how he works.
Yeah.
I was surprised you let that go. 11.
I didn't think of it until then. Now I need to get
that's
Ztar killed ASAP. Just so I can come back and take Rav-eth's niche.
Yes.
for the comedy.
Memory stored in the legs. It's like the rings of a tree. If you cut open the legs, you can see how old the human is. Rav-eth, as you stare down from far away, it's hard to know who painted this glyph and who lit it on fire. You know it's very normal for glyphs to be lit on fire, to send them up to the Almighty, either drawn on paper and the paper burned, or even drawn with special ink that is then burned immediately. It's very, very common. That is a super normal thing. Normally the person who paints the glyph is the one who then sets it on fire. And lots of people draw glyphs. There's many reasons for drawing and burning glyphs. A lot of the time soldiers will buy glyphs that they will then go and burn, or have glyphs drawn for them that they will then burn before a battle. The glyph for justice, though, it's very unlikely anyone in Sadius's camp painted that in front of Sadius's main command center. Justice. That's a very pointed message.
Yeah.
It's a prayer to the Almighty, asking for justice. That's what a glyphwood is. Demanding justice. Yeah.
Could be that they expect to find justice at Sadius's war camp.
No.
Maybe
It's
the
the
homeless
absence of that has triggered the glyph. The way glyphs work, you draw it when what you want is lacking. You don't have like infinite gold and then do the glyph for gold so more rains down on. Well, depends actually. That's a human nature.
It's just a
you can
harsh
put it where you
perspective
need
on
it.
it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
There's always justice around. They just put it where they would find the justice.
That's actually a good point. Ztar, your spren might comment on that. As you observe and focus on the glyph for justice, you watch as a little rift in space opens next to you, your spren appearing silently beside you. There's a slight buzzing sound for a moment, as if your spren is humming or vibrating. It's a strange noise you've not heard before. And as you turn towards your spren and look over, you get the sense your spren's appearing just to you in this moment. Renegade speaks.
A call has been made, Ztar.
A call for justice.
It does appear that way. Do we? We can answer this, but we're already on a call for justice. If we abandon this now for that call, we may lose Ralanat here, and I feel after the crime she's committed, letting her wander free would be a gross miscarriage of justice, regardless of what these humans' laws would say.
Yes, we are already following one lead. We must pursue it to its end. But do not forget this call for justice. Remember this.
I shall remember it. I shall also remember to roll that perception test that I was trying to do, but my character sheet will not open.
Yes, I have
And rolling
demanded it,
dice.
and thus it must be rolled. The Almighty has demanded perception.
Yes, Brendan.
Thank you for the correct honorific. I will remember this. Yeah, as you say that, you watch as Renegade slowly goes silent and then disappears again. There is something about that sight, Ztar. The glyph for justice burned in front of Sadius's camp, and you watch as the fires slowly begin to go out, leaving behind a faint scorch marks, even visible from up here, down in the plaza in the center of Sadius's camp. Something about it is striking.
To be fair, I think any glyph burned on that kind of scale in front of a high prince's house would be pretty striking. But yeah, no, Ztar's. I never wouldn't be humming to a rhythm, but I'd be like just vibratingly resonating with it, I guess.
Yeah. Renegade was humming a rhythm.
I guess I would have just picked up on that, yeah.
Yeah. As you continue your way forwards, making your way towards the storm shelter, doing your best to kind of pass unnoticed, or at least be as unremarkable as you can be, following along in the wake of other carts and wagons, sticking to the outer side of the road so that those who are focused down on the camps below, their backs are turned to you for most of your journey there. It doesn't take you too long at all. Another 15-20 minutes of following this road. You arrive at the outer edge of the storm shelter where you were before. You can see that a guard has been set up, 2 Colon guards, dressed in very, very smart uniforms, standing guard, looking out over the entrance of the storm shelter. It looks like someone has hammered some sort of like warning sign above it. In the women's script, it's a flowing warning. Neivien, it is very specific about the dangers of going inside. A mismanaged fabrial has been incorrectly installed. Danger to those who enter. Outside, in 2 glyphs underneath, is just danger bad, is all that has been put for the glyphs. Enough for the menfolk to see. But yeah, you can see the 2 guards standing out there, and you can see a few members of the Edgedancer occasionally coming and going, moving inside before removing what looks like components of whatever fabrial was installed here, the fabrial to help prevent and alleviate damage from the storm. They seem to be removing parts of it and storing it in a wagon next to the storm shelter.
Is the girl that we helped from the Edgedancer, is she around? I remember her name.
Well, that's the good question. Do you remember her name? Everyone's checking their notes, except for Raph, who doesn't have notes.
I rely on everyone else.
He does rely on everyone else. That's very true.
I was thinking, like, on the approach, I think
Kess
my
is the person
assumption
you're
that
looking
this
for. I'm
place.
going to be nice.
Yes. I was thinking that, like, on the approach here, that this place would potentially be, like, locked and unavailable, but not guarded or occupied. And I think on the approach, walking up, I'd say I wasn't expecting there to be anyone here. I don't mind if we pivot to go find Gark.
I might be able to get us through purely with my Fabriel knowledge and having met with Bright Lady Navarni. It's possible that they will allow us that freedom within the area, potentially.
I mean,
That's that. I think where there's a lot more people here than we were Arden's coming and going, we're going to be noticed at some level, even if we are able to stay. I mean, my vote is still push on to Bethab's camp, but if the criminal Gark is not the most reliable of friends.
I'm comfortable with pushing on. My main concern is the more we parade this woman around, the more opportunity that someone that actually does know her is going to spot her and report back.
Alaran, you continue. Sorry.
I was just thinking, like, we're walking into the outer market. We're getting a sense of what's ahead. With everything that has just happened behind us, that status quo of like normal activity might be irrelevant. Can I do a perception check or maybe an insight check about like the vibe of the outer market? Is it like people are packing stuff up out of fear of the next couple of hours? Like, is scurrying home to camp in the chaos an actually viable plan for us here?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. Yeah, perception, insight makes a lot of sense. I'd say deduction kind of fits too if you wanted to roll that. Your choice.
I wish I could roll perception.
Isn't it still not coming through?
Nah.
Let's have a look. Are you in roll 20? Rolling it from roll 20?
Yeah. No, we won't even open the character sheet. Just the loading dice. Yeah,
Let me see if I can open your character sheet.
I've tried out roll 20 before, and I've opened Danny Plane as well.
It immediately opened
Try and
for me.
roll
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm straight into your character sheet. Literally took 2 seconds to open. That is weird. Do you want to try? I can duplicate it for you, and we'll see if that works. Do you want me to try and duplicate it, and I'll give you the duplicate?
No, I mean, I'll just be back in a sec. I'll just completely close Firefox and see if getting back into it will sort
It's easy to duplicate your character sheet. I can literally just do it in 2 seconds.
Well, I mean, let me see if I can open anyone else's first.
Oh yeah, true. That's a good idea. Oh yeah, I forget you guys can all do that.
Rav-eth, did you have a thought of Naivien's plan? Should we push? Should we stay? Gark?
I mean, we haven't seen much of Gark in recent days, but he is a fellow survivor of the ill-fated caravan attack, and he has proven to be useful. His shop operates in a certain grey area, which may be to our advantage given the circumstances that we are in. I am hesitant to hand these over to House Bethab, given that we have not been able to garner the information that we require to pursue our own investigation into what transpired during the attack. I feel as though if we hand them over to House Bethab now, we may lose valuable information, and I would rather be able to get that information in our own time, rather than being pressured by those within the house.
I mean, I think we've trusted House Bethab with so much at this point that trusting them to allow us to interrogate this person once they're securely stowed in a cell seems trivial compared to what we've already trusted them with. But
I understand.
Far be it from me to pretend the light eyes of Aelthi are reliable, but
yes,
I mean,
but
feel like we're in for a chip, in for a mark, as they say.
They do say that.
Yes, they do say that indeed. Not to. I mean, I do agree with you. House Bethab has been nothing but accommodating to our situation. But need I remind you that there's been multiple attacks on House Bethab's prisoners over the last number of days. And
sure. What are the chances that would happen again?
I mean, we do have two
so
high value Sons of Honor escapees amongst our ranks, and I fear taking them back to House Bethab may yield a third incident, which, I mean, would be unlikely, sure, but I don't want to take any risks.
It would give us more leads than the Sons of Honor, but I mean, my bigger concern with Gark is we have absolutely no idea who his business partner works for. They're clearly... I don't know how much time you've spent in that shop. I've been in there quite a bit. His business partner is well connected, particularly for a Shin man all the way out in the the Shattered Plains here.
I mean,
It's as you say, grey area for sure. They're definitely grave robbing, which isn't that grey, but regardless, the man does seem more connected than I would expect a man of his background to be.
my other concern
But
is
we-
that if we do hand Lady Ralanat and her manservant over to House Bethab, we may lose information that we would be able to otherwise gain. Otherwise, she did seem very forthcoming that she would only give that information if she weren't handed over to the proper authorities. Not to discount the fact that I'm sure that she will, at some point, end up within the confines of House Bethab, one way or another. But I am just conscious of the fact that we have gone to a great length to rescue these two, and they have yet to yield the results that I was hoping that they would. They have not been very cooperative.
Allow me to put forward
Fair enough.
another potential option. We're heading towards this particular storm shelter because we expected it to be empty. It's not, because of what's happened in there. However, a storm shelter is only in use during a high storm. There's not just one in the market area. Why not go to one of the others that is likely not going to have anyone poking around in it?
Oh, that's a good point.
Would another one, by just like normal practice, be guarded when not in use, or would it just be like a closed door or a locked door?
It's a really good question, Alaran. It's not unusual for storm shelters just to be left locked. I mean, if they've just been used, normally people are there making sure they've been cleaned out afterwards, and normally in the lead up to a high storm, people will come and unlock them and make sure they're ready. The thing is, right, that you have storm wardens to warn about incoming high storms. So, I mean, you've just had a high storm. It's unlikely that it's still being cleaned out now and dealt with. No one's getting it ready. The next high storm's not for another few days. So it's not going to be guarded, most likely. If it's just a normal storm shelter in the outer market, it's not going to be well guarded, if at all, and it's probably just going to be locked. Now, that lock is not necessarily going to be a problem for one of you to get past.
I think rather than having the extent of this conversation right here in front of the shelter, like, I think that like that first call Alaran made, which was to push on, we're not stopping here at this shelter, and thinking about whether we're going to go to Gark, hearing that that's probably not a good idea, continuing to walk as if we're going to Bethab, and then hearing that conversation about another storm shelter, and Alaran's like, let's keep walking, but let's aim for a shelter if we can find one.
No, that's a good idea.
Do I get a sense from that insight 16?
Yes,
that
16, yes.
the vibe is it is a bit chaotic and people are packing stuff up? Or is there a sense of like urgency, or what's the vibes of the
normal pack up as it gets towards the end of the day? People are slowly beginning to close up a number of the stores that are only open during the daytime. The trade seems to be slowing down, but there's not like a big hurry. It's not like a high storm incoming. There's time for people to get ready and go. It's just normal, like heading into sunset, heading into the end of the day pack up, which means that there's also a lot of stuff opening. You can see a couple of bars and taverns beginning to pull out tables and chairs, beginning to move out into the streets where once market stalls were. They're now starting to reclaim that space for their businesses, for people to come and eat and drink. And you can see soldiers are beginning to shuffle out of most of the other camps to make their way up here for some R&R. This is a bit of a weird quiet time where a lot of the merchants have finished their tasks and have gone back to the camps with what they need to trade. The soldiers are on their way to the market but haven't yet arrived because it's not full sunset yet. It's the quietest the market is ever going to be. Unless it's the very early hours of the morning.
Okay, so it's not a sense of chaos that we're potentially going to exploit right now. So I think that the storm shelter as our pit stop. But
you're not too
the
far
storm shelter.
from the next nearest storm shelter. There's so many of these like set up in and around the outer market. It's only another 5 minutes, and you don't even need to go into the outer market for it. You can just follow around the outside, and you'll soon arrive at the doors of the next storm shelter. This one you've seen signposted before, Alaran, a few times. Yeah, you know the pathway there. All of you would actually. Everyone who's been in the outer market for any length of time knows the way to this. It's another one of the public storm shelters, not too far from here. Is that where you wanted to head?
Yeah, I think so. While
During
we're
this time,
walking and sort of listening, I was going to say, what's the general conversation in the outer market about?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a bit of time where you
transpired?
kind of stopped a little bit back away, looking at the activity in the storm shelter. Rav-eth, you watch as after a few moments, Kess does emerge. You can see that she's walking out with another Ardent, pointing out some things inside. You can see she's gathering together items. She isn't wearing any fabrials any longer. And her clothing is far simpler than it was before. It looks like she has maybe undergone some level of demotion within the Ardentia, or there's been some sort of punishment for her role in what happened in the storm shelter.
Oh, wow.
But she is working with them to take apart most of the fabrial components. And they're clearly marking these and labeling them. They're keeping this together. It's not just being dismantled to be thrown out. They are taking this down very carefully and packing it into a cart to be transported elsewhere. And she's very, very clearly helping lead this and helping to organize this this effort. While you're watching from that distance, you watch as that cart is mostly filled up during this time. It was already pretty full to begin with. And the Chull saddled to the front of it, hitched to the front of it, slowly begins to take off, along with a number of the Ardents. Kess and a few others stay behind. The 2 guards stay behind. But you watch as this cart laden with supplies and laden with the components of this very complex fabrial begin to make their way up towards the palace.
Cool.
With that, you will begin to make your way around the edge of the outer market. The sun begins to set in earnest now. The soft red glow cast across the land as the first of the 2 moons begins to rise in the east. You arrive at the outside of the storm shelter. As predicted, there are no signs of any guards. The storm shelter doors are locked. Canvas has been pulled down to cover the entrance, but the signs that point to it are still there. As you make your way over, the pathway down between 2 of the sort of larger sections of the rocky wall that make up the staircase towards the top of the outer market provides you with a bit of cover from watching eyes. The entrance to the storm shelter, the doors are actually set in this alcove a little bit of a ways, and so as you make your way into the shadow of this alcove, no one can really see you clearly here. And as you turn your attention towards the doors, they are indeed locked. What would you like to do?
Did someone want to turn that lock into smoke, perhaps?
I suppose I could. Don't we have a little Viney friend with us nowadays also?
It would be good to keep the lock intact so we can cover our tracks and make it so that we weren't here.
Hula kind of looks for a moment around and then goes, I'm going to do Hula as a proper Unkalaki. This now forces Rory in future to match the voice that I'm using for Hula.
Raising the bar.
Sorry about this, Rory, but I am now recanonizing Hula's voice. Sickle-Lander, if you break lock, next time storm come through, all people are kept inside massive pressure chamber as door pushes inwards. You cannot break lock. You must coax open. Lucky I have Spren of Stone to do this. With that, which as he bends down, whispers to the wall, Come, my little Tuala. Come, you must unlock door. There's an awkward
Jams her into
pause.
the lock.
Yeah, there's an awkward
One
pause.
key.
There's an awkward pause as Hula looks around and goes like, She will come. You are making her nervous. Step back, Ersek Lowlanders. Back. You give her space. She come. There's a few more moments of silence, and then you watch as the peak Spren strides out from the stone, looks up with her arms crossed. You don't get to just summon me. I'm not like called to you like some axe sound. You've got to prove yourself before you can do that. 1,000 apologies. I will make it up to you, my goddess, when I have a chance. I show you all respect. Could you open door for us, please? If it so graces your designs, wonderful Spren. You watch as she kind of looks around a little bit and then reaches into the wall and pulls a section of the stone out in the shape of a key and then hands it to Hula. Hula just goes, You are a wonderful woman, and I will make you very happy with my devotion to protecting things. He goes over, puts the key, and it does absolutely fucking nothing. He looks down at her. I need key for this door. You weren't specific. You said you needed to unlock the door. That's a key. It'll unlock a door. Need to unlock this door, please. Please, Spren. I'm in front of all my friends. I have told them I can do this thing. You're making me very nervous. This is embarrassing now for me. This is shameful.
Is this going to take much longer?
It is complex process. You wait, please. Please, I need this.
As Ztar just walks up, jams his finger, and just uses division on the low.
Oh my god! You watch as the doors.
We did not have time for these shenanigans. We were exposed here.
The door swinging was. You watch as Hula just stands there, looks down at Tula, and then just hangs his head. Tula looks up at him and goes, "Oh no, that's a high sprint. High sprint out did you then, Hula? That's shameful." She shakes his head before she strides back into the stone.
High is higher than the peaks. High peaks. As in more part Hula.
This is sad day for Hula. I wish I had been here properly so that I could do better. As he then stands to the side. You're not here, Rory. This is what you get. As all of you, I have no idea why he's not here. There's probably a very valid reason. He didn't say. I'm assuming it's something frivolous and silly, and he doesn't deserve any of our. And then it's going to turn out actually really important. He had some family thing he had to be at. No, let's. He deserved it. He deserved it. As you all walk into the storm shelter, it is understandably extremely dark in here. No one has been through to replace the spheres since the last high storm. It's a bit spooky. But as you walk on in and close the doors behind you, Hula will then get Tula up to go and try and repair the lock with stone shaping, because there's nothing else he can do in the situation that's particularly helpful. Yeah. To try and repair the lock. Ztar, Neivien, Alaran, and Rav-eth. In the antechamber of this storm shelter, it is much the same as the one you walked into previously. A large open antechamber set back immediately from the doors, a number of pathways leading off to various other side chambers, a clear division for men and women to split up if they need to or want to, and then a common area for people to mingle. Another entrance for people of more discerning tastes, more important than the dark-eyed riffraff who might wander into this storm shelter and selfishly try and protect themselves from the high storm. But that area is far off towards the back of the chamber. For your purposes, this open antechamber will do quite nicely, unless you want to go exploring.
If it's a similar layout to the other one, is it safe to say that there would be a secluded little space similar to where we stumbled across that parchment?
That secluded little space in the previous storm shelter was set up to house most of the Fabrial designs. It may be that there is something similar here. Neivien, if you want to go take 5 minutes to go and have a quick look through the storm shelter with some spheres, you can absolutely do that. Do you want to make a perception survival could work here, I'd allow. What other skill am I going to ask you to roll? Not deduction. Nah, to be honest, I reckon perception and survival. They're the two best ones here. Whichever you'd like. To go and explore the caverns a little bit closer. 15! As you have a bit of
that was me doing finally my perception before.
I just got excited because I saw the dice pop up and I was like, yeah, the math rocks have been rolled. 15 on your perception check. Is that for inside here or is that for previously?
That was just me keeping an eye on Ralanat. But
okay.
Speaking of math rocks, I have to do a brief aside. Rory did get me this for my birthday. It's a tiny little amethyst dice.
Oh, that's sick.
Hold up. Cool. Higher. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
hell yeah.
And the nat 1 is a cat.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh,
that's one.
Let me know in the comments. I've been exploring. I was gonna keep this as a surprise, but fuck it. I've been exploring some custom Lost Archives dice. If you think that's something you'd be interested in,
that'd be cool.
Can you let me know in the comments? I've been exploring it and looking into it, and it's not too. It wouldn't be too complicated. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet to set that up, but I was looking at a couple of things like dice cases, things like that. If that's something you think could be really cool, please let me know in the comments, and I'll make this happen sooner. Hurry up. That amethyst dice is so fucking awesome.
Okay. I want some.
Okay.
Me too.
Thank you. Okay, great. Well, I only needed 2 people, so there we go. We're done. But please let me know in the comments anyway.
Yay!
Fun aside, if you've got the molds available, there's every chance that I could make you a sterling silver set of DM dice.
My only other metal dice is nicknamed Player Killer because it does not roll. It's weighted, clearly. It's not meant to be, but it is, definitely. It does not roll under like a 15. It's really badly weighted.
That's ominous.
I would love some more. There's a reason it's not used at any table I play at any longer. It's banned. I would love some sterling silver dice. Player Killer 3 and Player Murderer would be a great addition to. I would love to add Player Slaughterer, Player Slayer. Oh, Player Slayer! I need Player Slayer. I need Player Slayer. Player Slayer. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. Yes, I do have some dice mods actually, Raph. I'll talk to you about that. I was trying to make some sphere dice with like an implanted LED that when you got close to a capacitive energy field would light up. I short-circuited the capacitive field and electrocuted myself while trying to set it up. So I need to buy some new ones. It did not go well. I will get back to you. Yeah, talk. Perception check of 18, Neivien. As you explore the storm shelter, you do find a small room not too dissimilar to the one in the previous one. This one is, however, used for supplies. A number of barrels of water have been stacked up here, along with some crates of food, mostly dried food, lava spread, things like that. Clearly, someone has done like an early restock of supplies for this storm shelter. But, I mean, it's a storeroom. You could obviously drag Ralanat back here, but it's a bit more cramped than the one you were in previously. Apart from that, it's not too dissimilar to most storm shelters you've been in, Neivien. Chairs and tables have been stacked up, benches have been put against the walls. It's all been cleared out and made as sort of packed down as it can be between high storms. And it doesn't look like anyone's been in here for a day or two, which would line up with your timeline of how most storm shelters operate.
I'm guessing, purely based on the purpose of these shelters, they're relatively soundproof. That's my biggest concern.
Massive chambers dug into the stone, the only source of... there are... That's a good question. There wouldn't be air holes in the roof because water would pour down through those. So the only source of fresh air for a storm shelter would be the front doors. And when they're sealed, it would only be the air that pushes through the gaps in those doors to refill the... So yeah, these would be pretty soundproof. All you need to do is shove a bit of cloth in the area around those doors, Neivien. And they're already designed to be as sealed as possible to stop the water pouring in and rain pouring in. Storm shelters would be very naturally quite soundproofed. Yes.
Okay, that is good to know. Well, I couldn't find anywhere better than here, really. I suppose this'll do. At least we all have room to get our kicks in if it comes to it.
Well then, surely these move around a corner, so if someone does come in through the door that we just entered in, they don't immediately see us, and then shall we ask her the questions we have?
I think so.
For me, it seems relatively self-explanatory why Aelthi Light Eyes may like to consider those beneath them expendable and thus trade our lives for cash, but you all seem to have some follow-up questions for her.
Well, it just seems like if that was the conclusion that we could naturally draw to, it seems rather redundant that we went to all this effort to apprehend her outside of the obvious need for justice, Ztar, which I'm sure that you are rather satisfied that has been almost satiated.
Almost. I guess, the only thing I'd be interested in from her is a contact within the Sons of Honor that we can continue pursuing.
Naturally, yes. I was thinking the same thing. It doesn't seem like she'll be willing to cooperate in the way that I was hoping, but if we can glean a little bit more insight into the Sons of Honor as a organization, it would be good to look into that. I don't know why I said honor so strangely just then. It just kind of came out like that.
I must ask this again, and I appreciate that it was met with not exactly enthusiasm when I brought it up before, but I do feel that it's warranted. Do we really need this other one?
He is at least complicit in those crimes. We do not need him for information, but we do need, at least I need to deliver him somewhere where he can face the the laws of this land and pay for his crimes.
Oh, so your justice is bound to the laws of this land?
I'm not sure yet, truth be told. In principle, yes, until it seems like I know better.
I think we all know I'm not exactly out for blood.
Do we know that?
But
Did you not throw a book at a man like 2 days ago?
Several books. A library.
I've thrown quite a number of books, and I'm sure it was warranted. But at this present moment in time, I'm gambling with my life and your lives against this one loose end of a man who could get away, could be colluding with this woman. Do we need him around? A swift serve of justice and
murdering a prisoner in cold blood in the storm shelter in the dark is, I think referring to that as swift justice is.
Even I and give him a knife.
I mean, if the plan is to...
right. He's coming. He has a weapon. He's coming right for us. Guardsman routine.
That is a...
For context, Zindan is clearly a dark-eyed man. He does not look like he is of any high...
Then he's coming right for us. Get him!
Yeah, kill him quick! He does not look like he is anyone of importance. And the only interaction... I mean, Neivien, you saw how Ralanat treats Zindan when you went to go and... No, Alaran, you saw how Ralanat treats Zindan when you went to go find them. Yeah, I mean, he's essentially her, like, indentured servant. She's not been particularly nice to him in any interaction you've seen. And, like, as you're having this conversation, Zindan is just standing in the corner of the room next to Ralanat, head bowed. Still, I mean, his head's been shaved to make him look like an Ardent. He's still dressed in the Ardentia robes, these kind of dyed robes, or bleached robes, I should say, to kind of look like Ardent robes. But he's not really doing anything other than looking quite depressed.
Does he look Aelthi?
Yeah, he does. You get the sense he is Aelthi. I mean, definitely like an older Aelthi man. But he doesn't look very...
I kind of like look at the two other Aelthis, Neivien.
Oh, sorry,
and
I said he was dark-eyed. He's like, his eyes are like this very like dark purple. He's like the lowest of the light eyes, or he's like just at the cusp of like top dark-eyed. Like he's right in the buffer where like he could be either, I should say.
My knowledge of Aelthkar is lacking, but is it common for those in Ralanat's position to have servants such as Zindan? I assumed that they would just rely on their parshmen for such things.
No,
Parshmen are expensive.
They are, and they're not very bright.
No.
Present
that,
company excluded.
Everyone, that was Neivien talking, not Raph.
Yeah.
Neivien, that was 100% true to character. That is exactly what you would say in that moment.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for it. And I don't want anyone to judge you for it. You fucking monster.
I'm not judging. I just glance over at Ztar and I'm like,
yeah, I was gonna say I do the same thing of like, that is a perspective that Alaran has maybe held.
I mean, the Aelthi literally...
Until he looks at Ztar, because the last couple of weeks, that contradiction has consistently been impossible to avoid. Ztar is like the antithesis to the overlooked Parsh, and Alaran like looks at Neivien and then looks at
One of my
Ztar.
best friends is Parsh.
Exactly.
I know there's some good ones. I've met them.
Yeah.
I've met them. Just don't forget that the Aelthi, upon meeting the listeners, called them Parshendi, which literally translates in Aelthi to Parshmen who think. Don't give them too much credit.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was going to be what Ztar said is like slave form are dull.
Yeah, I know.
They lack the rhythms to think, much like you humans.
Yes, I certainly can't do what you do. But that's besides the point.
I take no offense. I mean, a light-eyed person could not get everything accomplished with just parchment. They're great at following an order, but if you need someone to think critically, you're not going to send a slave form.
And there are some places you can't send parchment into. There are just some situations where parchment can't go into, like the Ardenture, for example. You can't disguise a parchment as a member of the Ardenture and send them in to try and like bribe or barter your way in somewhere. Yeah, it's very common for Aelthi to have manservants or butlers.
And yes, so in any case, to your point, Neivien, I am a little unsure about getting rid of this one in such circumstances.
Look,
he may
I
provide.
don't think he deserves to die, and I do think he deserves to face justice.
I concur. And I think he may also be able to yield his own account of information. We should give him the benefit of the doubt. He may have insight that Ralanat does not.
Owen, can I?
Or at least will not be willing to share, at the very least. Perhaps he can be turned against her in exchange for leniency for his crimes.
Yes, Alaran?
I think Neivien has a point. We might not have any use for Zindan, but I don't think that Naivien's outcome is the path forward. If I hear what you're saying, I was going to suggest that Zindan get taken into the other room. By you to find out what information we can get from them.
Okay.
Who can read? It's
I can read.
Yeah, it's just us. Hey, I'd like to do two things. Firstly,
you write down he's got a gun in the women's script and hold it up to Rav-eth.
Can I make
concealed
some sort of a check? Is this guy? Does he just look like a whipped dog, or does he look like a light eyes spy master?
Yeah, great question, Neivien. I'm going to say deduction or insight, your choice.
Can I give
yes, you can help with that. Absolutely. Neivien, you have advantage. Yep.
Ooh, okay. Deduction. Let's deduce this, I think. Did you say they fixed the advantage?
Yes, it's been fixed. It works
You just select the die.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
If I select the die.
Yes. It's right next to the long rest button.
I've been fixed for a while. It's the roll again that was fixed more recently.
Okay.
Whoa,
I think that's worked.
I don't know how to tell.
Because it's lit up green because that was the higher number.
Right, cool.
So it's not showing us both. So
awesome.
The only problem with this is I can't then be like, oh my god, that was a natural one. But luckily you got a 16 to balance it out. Now we just have to. I'm going to assume that every non number is a natural one. There's no other way to know. 22 total, 16 plus 6, Neivien. Yeah, as you look over this man and look at his body language, look at how he's standing, and kind of relate it back to what you know of how. You've spent enough time with Ralanat to know that she's a bitch. Like, her manner of speaking, her way of interacting, she is an arrogant prick. Like, I mean, you were literally breaking into this warehouse to try and find her, and she immediately tried to take charge of the situation, tried to kind of order you guys around, tried to manipulate the situation and get you to work for her, get you to work with her. I mean, her refusal to go to Bethab camp is why you're here in the first place. She already has manipulated you a little bit, whether you have been directly manipulated or whether you've just had to make compromises to get what you want. She's still been able to influence you and force you to do things that you wouldn't have otherwise done. This man has clearly spent a long time with her. Whipped dog does not even begin to... This is a man whose spirit has been broken. He has been exposed to plutonium-grade Ralanat. his like exposure to this has been immense and prolonged. There was once a proud man here. This is the shell that has been left behind once Ralanat hollowed him out.
Wow.
He does not strike you as someone who is a competent spy master operating things behind the scenes. This is a man who has tried to make the best of whatever situation he's found himself in. I mean, even during your travel across the plains in the caravan, the only things you ever heard Zindan say, and you were traveling with this caravan for weeks, was yes, miss, no, miss. Like, yes, bright lady, no, bright lady. Like,
wow.
This man, he just looks done, especially given what's happened. He was captured and tortured because of her decisions. He had no agency in this. And as you look at this man just standing there, he has given up. He has at no point made any effort to try and work against you. He's not even made any protest to anything you've said. He has been brought here into this place. You have discussed openly in front of him about killing him. He has made no effort to speak up in his defense. He has just stood there with his head bowed. This is a man who has accepted whatever fate is going to give him.
That's so sad.
It's so sad.
Wow.
I'm gonna, following on from that then, I'd like to write a little message.
Haiku. Man, so sad. I release you from this spell. Just turn him down and turn him to smoke. Be free!
I'm going to write a message to Rav-eth, purely only because the others can't read. I would like everyone to be able to read this, but I don't want to say it out loud.
You want to remind them of their failings in this matter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Basically, the gist of what I write down is going to be, we could take him to another room and make a lot of sounds as though we've killed him, which may throw Ralanat off slightly, and then we have someone we can get information from, being this guy. Something along those lines.
Look, I mean, was this just for Rav-eth? Because I haven't.
This is unfortunately just to Rav-eth, unless you can read.
You not just hum it like a normal person?
Yeah,
exactly.
My main concern with even going to another room and whispering anything at the moment above table is we're in a giant echo chamber at the moment.
Yeah.
Anything we do or say.
Neivien, fun feature of the storm shelters. A lot of the walls are coated with fabric to help. Because if you can imagine like 80, 90 people in each room, it'd be deafening with a high storm outside. They've done what they can to put buffers up to catch the sound. So the storm shelter is not just soundproofed outside from being like embedded into the fucking side of the cliff. The inside has been like not tapestries, but cloth has been laid along the walls. The edge of the stone has been shaped in such a way to create like natural divots and cuts. It's been soulcast too. Yeah, it's designed to kind of help dissipate that sound. Because you can imagine like a thunder strike right outside the storm shelter echoing in this like stone box. It would deafen people.
Okay, well that's good to know. That changes things. I whisper that to the
dog
group
has just done the most heinous fart. I think I might just die here right now. It is so bad. It's killing me. Sorry, Raph. Please keep going. I'm just going to die of it.
I don't write that down then. I'll whisper it to everyone if it's going to be a safe place to do that.
I think the plan is solid, but knowing what we do with her, I think a better form of torture would be to offer him a deal and make it sound as though he is taking it. I think as soon as she thinks that he's turning on her, she will become immediately much more lenient. She just put up with the Hollywood torture there. We know that she can do that without folding. I doubt physical torment from on her manservants going to cut it, but I think if she thinks he's already flipping, I think she will cave quickly.
It seems like
I've used before.
There's some merit to that. I'm sure if we were to give this man a chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he would. I think he may very well also flip, and then two birds, one stone there.
I think if Zindan is who we see him potentially as, we already know who Ralanat is. She has proven that she does not care about us, but if Zindan has information that is useful, she'll be very unhappy to hear that Zindan has been sharing such information that she deems valuable. She
Agreed.
holds that in value, but she will die with that information before she shares with us if she doesn't get something she wants, and we can't give her what she wants.
No, but if she thinks Zindan's already giving us what she wants, then she knows the value of her information is crumbling, and what she will ask for will become significantly lower.
Should we make it clear that Zindan is giving information and give her the first chance to share?
I think let Zindan share if he's going to. Although there are some questions, woman to woman, that I want to ask her that Zindan won't know.
How'd you dye your hair so nice?
Exactly. She did a really good job at it.
Who wants to talk to Ralanat and who wants to talk to Zindan?
I'll speak with Ralanat unless anybody else has an argument against that.
I want nothing to do with her. I'll talk to Zindan.
Quite frankly, Lady Ralanat scares me a little bit, so I think I would rather my chances with
That makes me really happy.
Zindan.
Thank you.
Talk to Zindan. You just tell her that we're putting the screws on. He's like wait to come in with us to talk to Zindan. Leave after a minute or two.
Why not
tell her that she's caving, and then
we may as well talk to Red 3 as well. Ztar. Keep them in the same room, you know. Keep.
Oh yeah, I can try. I doubt we will get much out of them, but
the bright ladies can just to talk, and Alaran as well. Let the Aelthis do what they need to do, and the rest of us can have a bit of a powwow and talk it out.
Oh, I mean, we could actually talk to Zindan in front of her. I mean, it may even be beneficial.
Oh, you mean in front of Ralanat?
Yes.
Oh, well.
If she sees, if he does actually cave, or at least if we can do it until she knows what we're doing, and if he's too afraid of her, then we take him away.
I am a little, yes. Well, we could try that. My hypothesis says that he probably won't agree to anything while he's within sight of Lady Ralanat. I think we would have more chance to separate them out and to talk to him privately.
Well, I think when he hears what our offer for him is and what our offer for her is, should he comply? I mean, if he helps, from what you've described of what you would guess of him, Neivien, I would consider justice served if he helps bring real criminals to justice. It sounds like as his involvement would have been at most simply because he's indentured to this woman rather than through any malice of his own part. If he gives us information that brings real people to justice, I could see a case for his torture already being justice served. We could let him go, and with the promise that she will never be free. And then I mean, if I was him, I'd find that pretty compelling.
I don't disagree, but I'm concerned letting him go is not going to be as simple as all that. Someone who's been at someone's beck and call, we've had quite a number of servants similar, although we treated them better at home. I mean, fractionally. But they don't leave. They don't run away. They stay there, whether it's through fear of reprisal or not knowing anything else. I think we'll have to suss out the waters with this one. It may be that his loyalty runs deeper than we may anticipate purely because he knows nothing else.
I mean,
I hear that, but we can see what that looks like and where it's heading for him. He's collateral. Ralanat has shown that time and time again. We were collateral. I think that we have to give Bethab something, and I think it might be him. After tonight, I think maybe we have more conversations Ralanat, potentially a deal, but I think he could go to Bethab for some questions, but potentially those questions are going to be a lot kinder than what we saw in the last camp that had him in a cage.
Well, let's ask some questions then, shall we?
Sounds like a plan.
Hula,
Yes.
the door is yours. Make sure nobody comes in.
I have accidentally
Make sure
sealed
Ralanat
it
does
with
not
stone,
move.
so it is sealed.
Okay.
We are trapped here for now.
If
That's-
Ralanat moves, take her head off with an axe.
Well,
That is rather extreme. Okay.
All breathes even.
If
Maybe
she
just
breathes, I will cut her head off. Okay, as Ztar has
Oh,
ordered.
well-
no.
Hold on,
No?
Hula. No.
No,
I
just
can't-
remembering Hula doing the lock and thinking Hula doesn't really get these things. There's some dullness happening here a little bit.
Just
I
guard.
love how much character development we're giving Hula while we're doing
Yeah. maybe just guard.
I really
Ralanat
like
and,
feet.
Defend.
I love feet. I love feet a lot. Can I see all of your feet? I've never done this to a player character. Sorry, Rory. I don't know why I'm starting now. Never been such character assassination before. No, I will guard door. No one will come through unless I have decreed it. They cannot. The door is sealed for now. I will not cut off head if she breathes. That is not. That is a bit too far. She must breathe if we want to ask her questions. But if she tries to escape, I will incapacitate her.
that works.
There are ligaments and tendons on the leg that she does not need. I have been informed.
It's true.
Neivien, I think it's you and I going to speak to Neivien while the others speak to Zindan, it seems.
What do you mean I'm speaking to Neivien? I am Neivien.
Ralanat, did I say that?
It's all good, mate. I said she's got a face of smug or something before, so you're fine. You're all good.
All right.
You just got a name back to front. At least you didn't say fucking nonsense. You're fine.
Cool. Yeah, well, they're going over there and we're having a talk to this one.
All right.
Alrighty. Rav-eth, Ztar, as you walk on over, commands Zindan to follow you. You watch as Ralanat looks at him, trying to catch his attention. He doesn't look at her. Just walks on following you. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't try to move. Just follows along. Red 3 also follows you, Ztar, seemingly wanting to sort of stay a bit closer to you. After hearing you sort of speak before and hearing you hum to the rhythms, it seems Red 3 is kind of sticking a bit close to you for now. As the four of you make your way into one of the side antechambers, Neivien and Alaran, you are left alone with Ralanat. She is still gagged, still manacled, and is now seated immediately, as soon as you entered into the storm shelter, sat herself down on one of the more comfortable benches at the back, getting herself comfortable, sitting back like she kind of owns the place. And as she looks over towards you, you watch as she gestures up towards the gag inside her mouth.
Before we removed that gag, last time she had it removed, she said a lot of stuff that was nonsense. And I don't really know what we're looking to get from her that we can verify, that we can trust, that we can use. I think that our best bet is to follow our instructions and return her to Bethab, and I know that's not the rest of the party's view. I know that some of us think it would be better to make sure she does not escape with the information, or there would be other methods of getting it, but I just don't know what we can trust from her.
I
And I'm
agree.
like making eye contact with her while I have this conversation with Neivien.
I'm hiding. I'm facing away from her in case she knows how to read lips. I have been around the Vedan courts some. I know how people like her operate to a degree, and I agree. There is no trusting what she says. She's poison. But at the same time, she's a wheeler and a dealer. That's our inroads. So long as we're confident in backing out of any deals we may make with her. If we hand her over, I have no doubt in my mind, whether it be tomorrow or a month from now, she is going to coax a guard or someone into working with her, and she will escape. She will get out. Handing her over, I understand where you're coming from, following due diligence with all of this process, but she's going to be a liability, and if we don't, I think if we hand her over fully intact, at the very least, that may be a problem. I know I may come across a little pragmatic sometimes, but looking at this from an analytical lens, you can't do much without fingers and a tongue. If we're handing her over, she can't be communicating. I don't think that's fair to anyone else. She's a danger that we would be releasing back into the world.
Could I try a discipline check to not have the disgust and fear of what that pathway looks like to show, to like basically try and hold back that showing on my face for her to see.
You're trying to build
Neivien,
a perception that you're willing to do this shit, Alaran, when you're very clearly not. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I think discipline, that works. Absolutely. Oh. Alaran, you just
That's
vomit.
the perfect
You
outcome.
literally just, as Neivien is most of the way through this, you just turn and vomit onto the floor. Or if you have a more appropriate reaction, let me know.
Yeah. I think that, like, in me talking, knowing full well Ralanat is listening to me with my sentence, I'm still making eye contact as I listen to Neivien. And part of it is like, he doesn't want to hear some of this stuff. He doesn't want to hear the kind of like pathway that Neivien is encouraging, because he would like to think that the party's above it. And then his face slips and Ralanat like maybe even looks into that and like recognizes it. And when that like mask falls, it starts to turn, and he looks away from Ralanat and looks at Neivien, and then remembers the smoking of the guard outside, the guard captain, and the like disintegration of half a corpse, and then just sees body, death, man in the fire pits, person getting like gored, and just sees the last like 24 hours of dead bodies, and then the man trapped in the closet, like claustrophobia, screaming, bound, and then just like it just like splinters every single person that he has seen die, and then it's caravan kill. And then he looks at Neivien and is like worried about Ralanat is unkind and kind of like cold and calculating, but then Neivien is talking about dismembering people so that they can't, like, the analytical perspective is a mirror here. It's not a, and in that moment he takes a step back from Neivien.
I'm simply throwing out ideas. I do understand it's barbaric, but the danger that we put so many people in by letting her back out of this building in her full capacity is troubling, to say the least.
Neivien, Alaran chokes like on the words a few times here, but then she getting out of here is bad for us because she knows things about us. And I was thinking about it when we nearly had our run-in with Mentes before. We're saying that we can't leave people behind because they know things about what we can do now. But that's our burden to carry. That doesn't give us the right to kill those that we can't conceal our gifts from.
Alaran, I'm not even talking about that. That's bad enough. How many people died in that caravan? How many people has she killed or tortured or forced into doing her bidding, causing countless people's suffering? I'm not talking about vengeance. I'm talking about finding a way to end it that isn't her death. And I don't see a way past stopping her in some capacity from being able to continue these manipulations. If you have a better idea, I'm all ears.
Neivien, you can see I'm quite uncomfortable by this, but the reason why is I don't have a better path. I wish I did. I don't know how to stop anyone from doing what they wish, and I don't think that's the plan. I would like to think... I like that you said that a deal or a play is all she will respond to, because the torture clearly was not the play to use against her. And I do know that that will come back to haunt us later, but I do think that that might be our only option. If she has something she wishes, she will say that it is to be freed, but I think that we're kind of on the same side right now.
All right, but Alaran, I put this to you now. You remember this conversation, and you remember that we had a chance to put a stop to it when we come up against further destruction from this woman.
I'll carry it.
It's yours to bear.
I can
And
carry
I turn and I walk towards her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's been here for this whole conversation.
She's only seen my side of it.
We kept our distance to a degree.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her and making it clear. Like, the first part of it was for her, but
Okay.
like Neivien is turned away, so she's getting...
She's still hearing
half.
it, though.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be subtle.
Trying to be silent? Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to double
Yeah.
check. How quiet we'll be.
Yeah.
Because initially Alaran started off like deliberately
Yeah,
silent to try
yeah.
and like...
Sorry, I was making it clear that I projected the first part. Like, she will pick up what I have been saying because I'm saying it to
Yeah.
her.
Cool. Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to double check because I need to know how much of the reaction are you going to get for this. Neivien, as you walk on over towards her, you watch. She's had her eyes closed for a bit of it, just sitting there quietly, almost looking like she's just lounging back on this stool towards the side of the storm shelter. And as you approach, you watch as she slowly leans back, squints an eye, and then opens and looks up towards you.
Neivien, do you have things that you wish for her to hear before she decides to speak?
I don't think it'll make a difference. Whatever she hears now is just going to give her more time to think about it before she can respond. Ungag her.
Alaran pulls up his blade, puts it in the side of her.
You could just
gag,
pull it
and
out.
cuts.
Are you cutting it?
Good. Yeah.
Okay. As you bring the
dramatic.
blade up, you watch as she looks towards it, looks up towards you, and like raises one eyebrow as if to be like, really? As you then cut the gag, she spits it out. So?
So buttons, you horrible woman.
You've had all this time. We've been walking. We've been moving about between different storm shelters. That's the best you've got? No buttons?
It's not. I promise you, I have been talked out of the best that I have. We understand a few things about you, to a degree. The main one being you aren't one to bend to torture. So that why bother? Rest assured you will not be in any level of physical pain during our little chat here.
Okay.
What we also know is you do like a good deal.
Yes. Love a good deal. Your terms?
Oh, we're not quite there yet. I would like to know some things, but I have absolutely zero expectation or guarantee that any of the things you tell us are going to be truthful or legitimate or usable.
Just like I have no expectation or guarantee that you'll be true to your word if I make a promise. Obviously, I'm going to request my freedom. I have no way to know that you're going to deliver on such a promise. In fact, you have every incentive and every inclination, I imagine, to not do that. I mean, Neivien, you have rather played your hand. You clearly want me dead.
I want you to not be able to cause any more mischief. Death would be the simplest route. I've been voted against that. I've also been voted against many of the other options that I've raised for your pleasant self. How about we start with a little bit of information and see where that gets us, shall we? How about...
Show of good faith, yes?
Call it a show of good faith. How about you tell us a story, preferably a truthful one, about what exactly it was you were doing in that caravan, followed by what exactly it was you were doing with the Sons of Honor, and then why they were no longer your friends.
To call the Sons of Honor my friends is a mistake. My association with them has always been limited. I am a useful agent out in the field whose movements, whose proclivities appealed to this organization. This is a group of... let me put this straight, Neivien, and I'm sorry, Alaran, you're not going to like this, but the Sons of Honor. What does that name conjure for you? Does it sound like an organization that has a lot of women in it?
No, I wouldn't say so.
And your experience, Neivien. Do men usually think things through? Are they usually quite good at planning? Or are they normally quite shit at it?
I don't even think that requires a response, if I'm honest.
Exactly. If I was part of this group, which I'm not, let's get that right out of the gate straight away. If I was part of this group, I would not be a high member of it, lacking the necessary components that they deem suitable. A sword and, well, not that type of sword. Here's the thing. I work with a number of light-eyed individuals, high princes and their ilk. I am well connected to a number of key people. Many others wish to use my network, my knowledge, my contacts for various tasks. The Sons of Honor are no different. This is a group who needed access to things, who needed items moved. And I must say, the members I do know who are members, the people, the individuals who are members of this group, they're not the sort of people who can be seen to be directly involved with such awful things as smuggling, murder. Whereas my good self, they care not for my reputation. I could be hired for such a task. And I was. I did not know the caravan would come under attack. I was hired to guide it, to lead it, to be a figurehead, someone that people would trust, someone who could lead this, to convince Bethab to hire the protection required to transport these items for the Sons of Honor from Alethkar to the Shattered Plains. I was told to secure those items, keep them safe, and to stop at that particular chasm on that particular night. There would be a contact who would come to retrieve those goods from me. You can imagine my surprise and, frankly, outrage when that contact turned out to be that Chaldung Rezi and a group of fucking soldiers. I was in just as much danger as you were. Now, did I suspect that something like this might happen? Well, yes, I did. I didn't trust these people. Wisely, it turns out. I had made preparations to kind of get myself safe if such a thing were to occur. Now, did I know something bad would happen? No. I simply anticipated the opportunity, the chance that something might happen, so I made sure that I was safe in those instances. Am I sorry that I did not try and extend that warning to you and the rest of your group? No. Sorry, but you could have given it away and, with all of us together, slowed down and been caught by Rezi and his soldiers. Would you have done the same in my position, tried to save everyone, knowing that it could have cost you your life? Maybe. If it did, you're a better person than me. Congratulations. Well done. Enjoy that moral victory over me.
So, suffice it to say then, in your role, professionalism plays a large part in your survival, I would say. Would it then be
being a
fair
hard
to...
motherfucker plays a important role in my survival. I don't trust people, Neivien. I don't trust anyone. That's how I survive. Professionalism can get damned. Straight to damnation with professionalism. It's knowing who to trust and who not to trust, and not trusting anyone. That's the secret.
Honestly, I'm very glad to hear that. You won't have any qualms then in naming those within the Sons of Honor that you are aware of.
I already have named one of them. Rezi.
We already have that one. Got any more?
That's valuable information. I don't really want to give it away for free. Not when I have something equally valuable. Well, you have something equally valuable that I would like. My life, my freedom.
I don't know that those two things are equal. Alaran, are those two things equal? He's a better judge than I am, apparently.
I think her life is, but I don't think her freedom is right now.
Look, we're missing the important point here. The enemy of my enemy is my...
At the moment, enemy.
No. So close, Neivien, so close. The Sons of Honor tried to have me killed, have imprisoned me and tortured me. I couldn't give two chaldungs about you and your friends. I want fucking revenge. I'm after them. Let me go. I'll cause such mischief for them, as you put it before. You think I'm your problem? No, I'm theirs.
Well, I think that's kind of where we're getting to, because your freedom is not on the cards, but
sure, I could do a lot with it.
But with us, your life might be protected a little bit longer. I'm worried that the information that we seek from you, as you say, your network and your knowledge, it seems like a valuable asset that's extremely valuable, but you've fed us crumbs. You don't have a wealth of knowledge because what we ask is so small for someone with such a vast network and knowledge. And if this is true, then your protection is in our best interest, not your freedom. And I would much prefer to be around when they come for you than to find out that you had died to the Sons of Honor.
That's
and we
not
didn't
going
have
to
the
happen.
information.
It's not going to happen. And here's the thing. Let's take a step back. We've gotten so aggressive, so at each other's throats in this. You came in. I was being captured. I've been captured, tortured by the Sons of Honor. You saved my life. Got me out of that place. A woman could be quite grateful for such an act. All of this unpleasantness. Locking me up, gagging me, marching me through the streets. We all got a bit excited. Let's put that aside. Pretend it never happened. Go back to how things were. Rushing in heroically to save me from those captors, those torturers. We're on the same side here. Come on. They're after me. They're after you. I didn't steal the shipment. Did you steal the shipment?
How broad is your network?
I have connections in most of the major cities in Alethkar and in a number of the camps here on the Shattered Plains. I did think I had one at Aladar's, but I think it's safe to say that one's a write-off now. But connections at a few others. Sadius, the most important. I've got a safe place there if I ever need it.
Owen, am I picking up what she's putting down, that she's basically just a spy mistress for hire?
She's an opportunist, Neivien. Spy mistress. This job was smuggling. She hasn't really said much about trading information. She does appear to be a Aelthi Lightide of a pretty high social standing, who's willing to sell that high social standing to other people to as cover, as a smokescreen to do stuff that they can't be seen doing or can't be caught doing. She's a fixer, is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Which includes spying on occasion.
We're
gonna pause there for a second because we've got to be fair to the other two who are interviewing, and I can see the time. We're gonna come back to Neivien, Alaran, and to Ralanat, a character who I both love and hate to play. Love because it's fun, hate because she's a fucking snake. I have to get myself into a mindset where everything I say is all about manipulating and trying to get you to do things. Let's jump over to Zindan. This is the opposite end of the spectrum.
Really.
It's so much fun. So it's not different to what I do all the time. Ztar, Rav-eth, as you march Zindan and Red 3 into the other room, you watch as Zindan pauses, just standing behind you before slowly moving around at the middle of the room. Sort of looks around as he takes it in, his eyes quite sort of almost, Ztar, from your perspective, almost like he's in dull form. This is a human in dull form at this moment. You watch as he turns back towards you. Do you want me on my knees, or will you kill me standing?
We're not going to kill you.
No. In fact, I was going to offer you and Red 3 here some of our rations. It's been a long walk. It's been a long day. I think perhaps some food would be in order in this abode, perhaps.
Sure. It has been some time since I last ate, and the water that was given to me was sparse. And
Well, please, I pour out some water from my canister and prepare some rations as best I can, given the circumstances.
Greedily gulps the water. It looks like it's been a little bit since he drank.
Poison.
Do you say that?
Gotcha. No.
Do you say that to him?
No.
I embrace death. He just lies down. No, as he drinks the water.
It is better than employment.
Yeah. You don't understand. This is freedom you are giving me. As he drinks the water. I thank you for your kindness. I don't believe we have been officially introduced. I recognize you from the caravan. I am Zindan, manservant to Ralanat.
I am, I'm Rav-eth. This is
Mr.
my friend, yes. Yes, we did meet during the cow trip on the caravan, and it was awful business that occurred there. Tell me, have you been under the employ of Ralanat for a long time, or How did you wind up in her service in the first place?
My mother worked for her mother, and I took over responsibility for her some 30 years ago.
Oh, so was your mother also in this line of work?
She was a maid to the old mistress, who has since passed some 20 years prior.
So suffice to say, you and Ralanat have worked closely together.
I worked for her for 30 years almost. I would not say she works closely with anyone.
You would be privy to certain tidbits of information there.
There are some things that she let me know, many things she kept from me. I will share some of what I can, but I am honor bound. There is much information I cannot share with you. My family are bound in servitude to hers.
Yeah. Okay. In an effort to not beat around the rock bud here, you don't strike me as someone who enjoys their employer. I can empathize, as you could probably guess from how I was treated on said caravan, if you remember me at all from that caravan.
I must admit I did not recognize you. You are not Parshman, you are something else.
Correct. I guess the question I would ask you is, would you like to be something else yourself? You say you're honor bound to this woman. This woman is without honor, and I promise you she will be spending whatever the rest of her days is, at best, in a cell. You, let's be real, have been party to, whether willing or honor bound or whatever you want to call it, to a fair number of her crimes. We would see that you face appropriate justice for your involvement, which we would consider perhaps, say, being held in a torture room in the side of a war camp's storm wall, roughly equivalent to. But the people at the fine house of Bethad may not. So I guess what we're saying is, if all of a sudden there was some information that was not honor bound and you were to help us get us what we want, we can help you become something else.
Do your people value oaths?
Yes. I think we do, yes.
Yours?
Yes.
Yeah. When I entered Ralanat's service, I swore an oath. She made me swear an oath. To keep her secrets. To never betray her trust. To answer to her and only her. And to carry out her orders to the best of my ability. Should I break this oath now?
I can't speak for her, but usually when one would ask that oath, they would also be giving an oath in return that what they ask of them would, say, not be something that they wouldn't ask of themselves, or that they wouldn't ask them to do something that would in any other way damage their honor. Did she ask you to do this, or did you just sign away your life without a consideration of what she may ask you?
Previous mistress was dead. My mother was old and sick. Ralanat provided her with a home, with spheres to keep her from going on the streets in exchange for my oath.
Well, I don't think keeping an oath keeping an oath is honorable. Keeping an oath that requires you to shed every other scrap of honor is not honorable. It is more honorable to do what is right, even though it is hard. Even though it requires breaking an oath, doing what is right is always more honorable than doing what is wrong, regardless of what you have sworn prior.
Make me a persuasion check, Ztar, or leadership, your choice.
Can I give it any type of advantage in this instance?
How would you do that? What would you say?
I would say was obviously the food and water probably would.
That was
help
very helpful.
In this case.
Yep.
I sort of like I would extrapolate this line of questioning a little further. I would say, I am a surgeon myself. I have sworn oaths to help and all people, whether or not they have done bad or good, they are still all people and therefore do require a level of medical attention. Even in times of war and conflict, I have never truly been on any one side. I have traveled Roshar and applied my services wherever they may be needed. These are the oaths that I live by, and I feel as though the oath that you have taken is admirable in the sense that it has given you some level of purpose, but this is not an oath that is done by someone freely. This was an oath that was placed onto you during a time of duress. One-sided, might I add. I think given your freedom, such an oath may have been different if you had done it willingly to someone who you truly believed in. What Ralanat did was deceitful. It was not something that would be given to someone else given the circumstances.
You are saying that
Is the journey, not the destination. The way that we get to a place is more important than the place. Keeping an oath is not worth doing if the oath itself is not worth having.
you are saying as well that I was coerced into this and that my oath was not made by my own freedom. Roll with advantage, please, Ztar. Absolutely.
Perfect. Yeah.
I mean, quoting a line of the book is going to always, it's going to always do you well. When in doubt. Okay. When in doubt.
It's an oath I've sworn, right?
It is an oath you've sworn. It is literally an oath you've sworn. 18.
We both have sworn, actually.
Yeah, that's true. 18. You watch as that mask cracks just a little, a twitch.
Perfect.
As he goes to, you can see his lips getting ready to form the word no, but his head nods. Oh, but I have done such things in service of this woman. I have done things, awful things that I knew would lead to harm, and do you really think I can be redeemed?
This is the first step to that.
Absolutely.
Right, Lady Ralanat is a vile woman and a snake who will say and do whatever she needs to extract spheres from those that she can, blood from those that she cannot, corrupts everything she touches. She has been operating behind the scenes on behalf of many of the High Lords, often at cross purposes with each other, pitching them, playing them, working them like puppets on a string to have them pay her for services that then are undone by another that she is paid for to have undone. But primarily, she has worked for one woman. Bright Lady Sadius. And it is to she answers.
Yeah. That would
Yali
explain her,
Sadius is the one who she works closely with.
that would explain her intention to go to House Sadius's camp then. That makes sense.
She would be safe there. No one could touch her. The only reason that we went to Aladar's camp was because she was trying to bait information from the Sons of Honor. She did not think that they would come after us so quickly. She thought she could extract more money from them. And no matter what she says, she did take the shipment. I was the one who carried it away from the caravan attack site.
Oh, shit. Oh. So Bright Lord Resi wasn't the one that picked up the shipment after all.
I don't.
Do you know where the shipment is?
I
Or
don't
what
know.
it was?
I don't know where it is now, but it was a large crate that should have been far heavier than it was, but it was so easy to lift. It weighed. At first I thought it was empty, but she kept telling me to be careful with it, shouting at me to be careful and quiet with it, lest I damage what was inside.
When was the last time you saw the shipment? You are. I understand that you are not aware of its location now, but when was the last time you were in contact with it, or at least had eyes on it?
We could not bring it into the camps. It is still out on the plains. She had me carry it to a small cave not far from where the caravan was attacked. It is stashed there still, as far as I'm aware, unless she has sent word to others to go and collect it. But I do not believe she has. She was planning to head back there to collect it after her business in Aladar's camp was concluded. We were to head there last night, before we were captured.
Could you point out? I don't have a map, but
I could show you on a map. I could take you there myself. I can describe it. The roads that you walk to get into the outer market, you need to follow it eastward and then to the north. There is a section of the chasms where they open. As soon as you reach the largest opening, you will know it. It is far wider than any of the others. Immediately turn towards the south. The cave is there.
I know that
narrow out.
I know that he seems like he's flipped, and I'm very happy that he's done this. I'm going to insight check anyway, because I do know how like closely entwined he is with Ralanat still. Yeah. And I'm like, is this like could he be giving us like a bum steer here? Like, is the loyalty still there?
A shellless chell in this case.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like I'm like 90% sure he's telling the truth, but there's that 10% where I'm like, is he setting us up?
There's one way to know if he's willing to take us there. If we get our hands on that shipment, that's a good enough lead, I think.
He said, "I'd be willing to guide you there."
Absolve him of his crimes.
Yeah.
Look, thank you, Zindan. Look, if you can get us there, I think we can work out a way to get you your freedom if you swear a new oath to work to undo some of the harm that you've done. We have contacts in House Bethab that probably after some answering the same questions we've just asked you here would be happy to help you on that path.
22 on the insight check, Rav-eth. Zindan is telling the truth. You don't get the sense he's lying. The body language isn't right. The way in which he's responded, his emotional reaction to your conversation before about his oath seemed really genuine to you. You do not get the sense this man is lying. His offer of taking you to the site, genuine. It was the first thing he said. I will take you there myself. I'll show you on a map, whatever you can describe the way. Yeah. Straight away, like not holding anything back in that sense. There is more he has not shared with you, though. Not because he is trying to protect Ralanat. His own guilt is still blocking some of this stuff. He's opened up and told you a bit, but you get the sense there's more here. Whether it's relevant to this situation or whether it's other stuff, you're not 100% sure. But there is something he's withholding. More than something. There are a few things he is withholding. You keep seeing him kind of pause for a second as if he's about to say it, and then he sort of stops and lets it fall flat. It's subtle. But you've seen it before when patients have had to describe embarrassing symptoms. That kind of... And then...
I slipped and fell, doctor.
Yeah, I slipped and fell. How did it get up there? I tripped. Yeah.
Look, it's... I kind of like, as he's kind of like going through this, I say, you've been... This is excellent. This will help us tremendously. And look, I can understand that this must not be easy for you, that there is much that you are probably thinking about. There's many instances where you have been made to do things against your will under this falseness of an oath. And I can understand that must be quite hard to reckon with, granted your time in that servitude with that woman. You do not have to share these things with us, no, but you may have to in the coming days if you are to walk this new path to freedom, or to your own freedom.
I will try to share what I can when I can. There are some things I have done that I wish so desperately I could take back. Things that I knew were wrong. Things that I did. You are quick to grant me this air of forgiveness. But you do not yet know the things that I have done for this woman. You need to warn your companions who are speaking with her not to trust a single thing she says. She will be very convincing, very charming. She will tell them things, she will offer things. She gets under your skin, she gets in your head. She knows what you want. She knows what you fear, and she plays them off each other in ways that you can't imagine. I have seen her take very wise, very clever, very savvy people and twist them.
All the more reason then for you to... I think, given the circumstances, you have done the best that you can, and for you to have weathered this for so long is... Sure, not everything that you have done is probably what you would agree with deep down, but now you have this chance to turn a new page, and I will take this on board. And I will begin writing a note that I will hand to Neivien once this interrogation is completed. In fact, actually, I glance over at Ztar. I'm like, I take this warning that you have given us seriously. I will instruct Neivien, and I will just begin writing out a note to hand over to Neivien about this.
Do we just walk out there and announce that we have what we need and see if she crumbles?
I think so. I think we have what we need.
She won't crumble. She won't crumble.
As a heads up, we're going to tell her that you've turned. I assume that's fine by you, given you have and you're now working honorably. We're going to see what she will be willing to offer once she realizes her information is worth a whole lot less than it was 10 minutes ago.
She won't crumble. You can tell her that I have told you things. She will respond that I know a lot less than her and that she still has many secrets, and it will be the truth. You can...
Well, then it appears that perhaps we have no more need for her then.
Yeah, well, I mean, it honestly seems... Well, you've given us about as much as we need. So if she has more secrets, great for her. Off to jail.
May I have a moment, Ztar, of your time?
Yeah, sure, bro.
I just kind of like go up to Rav-eth. Rav-eth goes up to Ztar and just sort of, look, I know that your sense of justice would say that you would hand Ralanat over to the authorities after this line of questioning is complete, but
Yes.
Zindan, in his own words, has said that the corruption that spews from that woman's mouth may cause untoward harm to all around her. I do not feel as though it would be pertinent that Ralanat makes it to House Bethab, at least in a place that, in a way that would allow her to carry out these things. If we hand her over to the authorities, then that would be justice enough. But if she was to escape, if she was to get in good favors with the guards, we know, even by Zindan's own account, that she is a snake. And if she is somehow able to be free of her captors, she would be
a sky eel. There are no snakes.
A sky eel. She is a slippery sky eel amongst the house. Then what sort of damage could she do? Further wreak upon the house of the shattered plains and the houses that are assembled here.
And that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight, because that has to be, that is such a good point. I think we've got to come back next week. Harrison, you need to remember what you're about to say because it's so good. I just reckon that's no, go on. Say what you're going to say. Go on. I don't want to be a dick. Go on.
Rav-eth, the right thing to do is to bring her to justice. If the powers at B failed to exact that justice, then we can step in. If she escapes, we will hunt her down and ensure that true justice is meted out. As it stands, she is our prisoner, and murdering her, cutting out her tongue, whatever it is that you have in mind.
Look,
I don't know if we can do that and say that we're not as bad as she is, without at least trying to follow the process.
We
need to give justice at least a chance to work.
You say justice, but justice, you are following the customs of this land. I am surprised that I thought that you would be meeking out your own sense of justice rather than the justice of these houses.
Well, I cannot always be judge, jury, and executioner for everything.
Why not?
I'm still working out.
Words of a healer.
I don't always know best. The law is a guide, and I think it is best to follow the law until it has failed. Now, the law has not failed.
I mean, but the law is different within every house. We have seen that with our own eyes. We could be having a very different conversation if we were talking about the law of House Sadius, for example. Did you see what happened on the plains just now? What law was that? And whose law would they follow then, in that case?
I mean, they have a king above them. This country does have laws. Whether High Prince Sadius deems it necessary to follow all of them is not my business at this particular juncture. Right now, we know if we take her to House Bethab, she'll be put through some kind of legal process and face some kind of punishment, whether that is death, imprisonment, dipped in acid. I'm unsure. That is not for me to work out. If we hand her over to Bethab and she walks free the next day, then we can hunt her down, fill her with knives that would have otherwise been put in Alaran's back, and we can call that justice then. But until the law has completely and has failed, we need to give it a chance. Unless it's completely unpractical or would otherwise be vaguely inconvenient, then.
What do the laws have to say on turning people into smoke?
Yeah. You give them
if they're bad guys in a cave, they have to die. Like prisoner that's told cause untold mayhem, gotta get them there safe. Random mooks that are just guarding and going on, kill them all.
I reckon that is where
Movie
we'll wrap up for
justice.
tonight.
Let's go.
That is where we'll wrap up. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining us, everybody. We are going to have to end it there. We will be back again tomorrow night with our D&D campaign, Tales from the Yawning Portal. Wednesday night for the final few episodes of our D&D campaign, Return of the Giants, because we'll be starting our Mistborn campaign on Wednesday nights in a couple of weeks. Back again on Monday night for more Echoes of Honor, the phenomenal Stormlight Archive Cosmere RPG. For those of you watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere. We're going to go and raid Corsair's Cove. They are back in their Humblewood campaign tonight. We need to go and give them some love. They are awesome. A group of Aussies over in WA who do a fantastic stream. So let's go and give them some love. Their artwork is chef's kiss. Those watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and let me know below, if you'd like some dice, and also comment on the new and improved accent for Hula and the new character developments. Do you like them? Do you love them?
Well, Hula loves feet. Yeah. Yeah.
We're locking them in. So I actually...
Cannot wait to get into a girl's safe foot.
Oh, no. I can't call an episode that, but now I'm really tempted.
Can we just very slowly bring up the feet stuff with Hula, but not mention it? Just in
This
case
is a
he
great
hasn't
test.
seen the episode?
Let's see. Let's see if he made it to the end of this episode and listened to the full thing. I bet he didn't. Let's see.
We're gonna drop it in real subtly.
No, it's got to be
Whoa,
real subtle, okay?
real subtle. Like, wow,
Okay.
you got some really nice shoes.
Yeah.
Prior to him joining the stream, he was a viewer. He did used to watch this.
Sure.
So,
All right,
We'll
everyone,
see,
we will see you all next time. Until then, stay safe, stay well. Farewell for now. Bye.